my next guest put Royston Vasey on the map and filled it with the... You're going to meet some incredible people now. Filled it with the oddest-looking group of people outside of a Lloyd Webber family reunion. They're back with a third series that's darker and funnier than ever. Would you please welcome the glorious Steve Pemberton and Mark Gatiss from the League of Gentlemen. Evening, lads.
Hello.
Good evening. Okay, I honestly can't contain my excitement that you've got a new series starting. Series 3, gang. How long has it been since you last kind of filmed an episode? Not of this series, but series 2. When did you film that?
It's 2.5 years.
99, was it?
Yeah,
Yeah, 1999.
Special, which no one saw. But it was very special.
That's actually out on DVD, I believe,
I
very
think
soon.
in November. Yeah.
And you know the price is 1999.
Is
the
it?
Same year.
God, I'll feel happy to pay that.
It's got to mean
essentially a disc. It's an edgy. It's edgy. It's out there. Your show. How do you kind of keep it unpredictable in that way without being
Three jokes and the truth.
3 jokes and the truth.
No, it's one of the first things we did when we sat down to do this third series is how can we stay ahead of audience expectation and without giving anything away, because the more you give away then obviously
The less to expect.
The less to expect and the less funny it is. But what we tried to do is concentrate more on the characters and have less sort of horror film pastiches. But we couldn't stop ourselves.
You just can't stop it.
No.
But it's kind of like, it's a bit like Camberwick Green, so I keep saying it. It sort of concentrates on...
very different than Camberwick.
It concentrates on one character per week, and mostly, and their stories kind of converge into a big arc.
Okay, so this is how the new series differs. You've got this new format. Instead of going around with the kind of sketches that you weave together in...
Well, all the stories are happening at the same period in time, so the end of episode 1 is also the end of episode 2 and episode 3, but seen from a different character's perspective, like Kubrick, The Killing, that sort of Jackie Brown type thing.
We're going to have a look at a clip, and then we're going to talk a little bit more about this, because there's a lot of questions I've got to ask. Here we go.
She wants to borrow the exercise.
Oh, I bet she does. All those lonely nights. Well, it'll cost you.
How much?
5.
I've only got 3.
Let's see 'em. Oh, pathetic. Look at that one. There's barely an inch left in it.
I've got the promise of a pink pencil, but I just need time.
Time's all you've got, sugar nips. You're looking I'm in a good mood. I'll get it to you by lights out. You best give it a rinse first.
Now, so tell us a little bit, what's happened to Pauline to put her in, what's the prison?
Well, the Click Clink.
The Click Clink?
Yeah.
Okay,
it's a comedy name for a women's prison.
Yeah.
We were desperate.
Is it not real?
No. And we decided at the end of the second series, she went off in the police car. She'd taken Ross hostage, who's her arch enemy. And so we had this film. We decided to start with her in prison, and we made the mistake of inviting all our mums down to be, inmates with us.
Bitches.
Bitches.
So your mothers?
No, they're not bitches. That's what they call them in prison.
All right, okay.
They were playing Pauline's bitches.
She's in.
Okay. Is she?
Although, by the end of the day, we probably would have used them.
So you put all your mothers in prison?
Yeah.
What do you think a Freudian psychologist would make of that?
God knows.
Don't get started on that.
Yeah, right. Now, the League of Gentlemen, you have a huge cult following. Do you have problems ever with the kind of obsessiveness of your fans, like me?
Tonight, particularly.
No, it's fantastic. If people are coming up to you talking about the show, it's because they love it so much.
Wow, it's so bad. You've got to be nice about it.
Yeah, no, it is fantastic.
Yeah, they're not. Because I would think the League of Gentlemen attracts people who are, I don't know, one down from your sci-fi fan in terms of
that. It's a kind of sci-fi crossover because it's a kind of enclosed world, like Star Trek or anything. And I think that's what people respond to. They like to know where bits of the town are, and they like to identify themselves as different shopkeepers.
But do you get people calling, getting in touch with you to sort of say no way because that shop isn't by there, and people who know their way around Royston?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, where we film the local shop bits, that's in a completely different town to where we do Royston Vasey, and when we burnt the shop down, people went looking for the burnt remains. Took them ages to find it. And then they sold bin bags full of this stuff to Finnish tourists who'd come on a coach.
How would you know? How do you know? A bag of ash.
I love what you say you've got. What we're out burning cars. Now we see that these fans are not mildly obsessive at all. Just explain to Faith. Just give her the pitch of what the League of Gentlemen's about.
You can't put us in a box, Johnny.
Loving that.
It's a very good point because we have the same thing. It's partly a sitcom, partly a sketch show, partly a character comedy show, and people try to define it by saying it's Twin Peaks meets
Merlin Peak meets Peak Practice, my favourite.
I like that. That's really good.
But we can't explain what it is. That's people like his job. To
Okay.
explain what it is.
What it is that 3 guys play loads of characters in an odd town. That was the pitch. That's it. But they play them all. Men, women, nudists.
90 characters.
Yeah, 90 characters. They play the 3 of them, and it really is. It's weird. We're talking about that, but you know, it's on in America. Has it travelled well? Do you get that kind of?
We were told it's actually sold abroad more than anything since Blackadder, I think. Is that right? And they seem to like it. It's particularly big in Eastern Europe, where it's kind of
Yeah, I bet. So then it's light.
it's the kind of aspirational program.
That's where they like to live, you know. It's a light drama. Anyway, do you know what? I've got some League of Gentlemen quickies. Here we go. Is it true that when you and Reece Shearsmith lived together, you used to collect discarded fragments from strangers' lives?
Yes! We used to find, people's passport photographs they've had taken, and they had to drop them, pull out of the purse or whatever, and we ended up with about 30. If you look, ladies and gentlemen, on the floor, I guarantee you'll find one. And we ended up with about 30 all around, and we used to make up little characters about them. Give them names and everything.
Well, things like old glasses and
We used to do that as well. Go to the charity shops for our characters. Yeah, we got dead people's glasses, 10p.
Oh wow, that's very peculiar.
That's the autobiography, Dead People's Glasses.
That's an awful name for a title, man. Dead people's glasses. Okay. Is it true that you, Steve, got the inspiration for Hare Lip from a hospital chaplain while you were recovering from a heart attack in Germany when you were just 25?
Well, yes. Yes, that's a very...
That's a really odd, funny story to tell. Heart attack. Moving on.
I did go and see a doctor, Dr. Sick, and he said, Mr. Pemberton, I cannot tell you there is nothing wrong with your heart. And he took me away to the hospital, and they said all the signs were that I'd had a Herzinfarkt, a heart attack, and I was there on Christmas Day, and I had no visitors all day.
I rang you to your bedside.
You rang me and my mum.
From the UK.
And the only person I saw was the chaplain who came in with a present for me.
What was the present?
He sort of closed the door behind me. It was a beige towel.
A beige towel! Sorry, I just like that.
You know what, Johnny? I've still got it.
Yeah. That's what a German chaplain gives an Englishman for Christmas.
Absolutely.
Just to rub in the towel thing, and he made it beige.
Beige.
Oh, okay. Is it true that you, Mark, used to forge Rolf Harris's signature when working on Rolf's Cartoon Time?
I'm afraid that is absolutely true, yes. I know. Well, he was a very busy Australian, and there was a time when Rolf's Cartoon Club was bigger than anything in the world.
Yeah, it was.
And they had so many people stuffing envelopes and responding to autograph requests, and we just had to forge them constantly.
And what did you draw on them?
You know, you do that thing called the Rolfaroo.
Yes.
Not Rolf Harris when I was 4, I've still got the picture. But I did actually draw one with a very big erection and sent it out.
But you sent it to a child?
To a child.
On that note, thank you very much indeed, Steve Pemberton and Mark Gatiss, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for coming down. It's beautiful stuff. Beautiful. I've got some news which is going to sadden all of you. That's all we've got time for. I know. Thank you to my guests, the League of Gentlemen and Faith Hill. Thank you very much indeed, Faith. Gorgeous. Joining tomorrow, and my guests will be Big Ron Atkinson and Backstreet Boy Nick Carter. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Until tomorrow, take it away, fellas. Good night.